You guys just slid in under the wire.
Chris, you ready?
Yes, ready.
Good morning. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the December 27, 2021 meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for Shawnee County. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair this year, also representing District 2. Joining me this morning is Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Aaron Mays, representing District 3. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope everybody got a happy holiday and everything you deserved in your stockings, or maybe at least some of those things that you maybe didn't deserve but you really enjoy. So, Madam Clerk, our first item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are 14 items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions or is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have vouchers totaling $808,867.46. I've reviewed the voucher report. I don't see anything out of the ordinary on there, and so I would move for approval.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays,
Second.
second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 3, consider approval of resolution number 2021-25, authorizing a 2022 cereal malt beverage license to Glory Days Pizza located at 4745 Northwest Hunters Ridge Circle, Topeka, Kansas, and resolution number 2021-26, authorizing 2022 cereal malt beverage licenses to Somerset Cafe located at 5701 Southwest Douglas Road, Topeka, Kansas.
Have all legal requirements been met?
Yes, and the Somerset Cafe has actually applied for 2 licenses, one for consumption on the premises and one for to sell at retail
Okay.
in original and unopened containers. So I just want to bring that to your attention.
And again, all the requirements have been
Yes,
met for both
everything's been met.
applications. All right. Are there any questions?
No, I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B, Facilities Management, number 1. Consider approval of 3 change orders to contract C-277-2021 with McElroy's Mechanical Contractors regarding the VAV box project for a total cost of $25,950 to be paid as follows. $5,900 from the balance of the original project fund and the remaining $20,050 to come from the 2021 contingency fund, and authorization and execution of contract C-4-84-2021 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. Nelda Henning, Director of Facilities Management. I will go with what was read and that be available for any questions.
Any questions regarding the change order?
No.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected passes 3-0. Thank you,
you.
Nelda. Our next item.
Item C, Audit Finance, number 1. Consider approval of the request for 2022 memberships, dues, and subscriptions in the total amount for all departments of $296,395.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jennifer Sauer, Audit Finance. I'm here today just to present to you the 2022 membership dues and subscriptions for next year. These are estimates from the departments for all the costs throughout the next year, just to prevent each of these from having to come to you individually throughout the year. So if you have any questions, hopefully I can answer those.
Any questions?
No questions.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Number 2, consider approval of resolution number 2021-27, committing Shawnee County's net excess 2021 general fund balance to future wage increases.
Good morning, Betty Griner, Director of Administrative Services. This is a resolution that would commit any excess monies from 2021, that would be any remaining budget expenditure or budget money from expenditures and any excess revenues, and committing those to future wage increases. We know what wages are doing in this day and age, and we know that we have a comp study coming that we will be looking at implementing. So this is just to try to set up the county in the best possible financial position to handle those in the future, and using any excess monies we have this year to do that.
Any questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item D, election office. Number 1, consider approval of request to transfer $25,000 from the 2021 election office budget to a project fund to construct an interior wall in the lower level of the election office for increased security.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jake Fisher, Assistant Elections Commissioner. As the memo says, that is our request to build a wall in the lower level of our office for increased security. That wall will be approximately 78 feet long, consist of 3 different doors, 2 large windows, and so it is a completely interior wall, just to be clear on that as well, and I would stand for any questions.
Questions?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item E, Health Department. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-490 2021 with Aaron Locke, MD, MPH, to continue serving in the capacity of health officer from January 1, 2022 to December 31st, 2022.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Director with the Health Department. As the clerk read, this request is to extend Dr. Locke's contract for this next current year. We typically do these contracts annually each year. I speak on behalf of not only myself as the director, but also the Health Department, in saying that we've been very pleased with having her on board. She's been a great addition to the staff. We feel like she's been able to not only help with our COVID response, but also dig her feet into other programs and provide that expertise that we need. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions?
No questions.
I do want to thank Dr. Locke for being here this morning. I don't know if there are any questions for Dr. Locke while we have her. All right, seeing none. I'll move to approve the new contract.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflected it passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And thank you, Dr. Locke. Our next item.
Item F, Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-486 2021 and an amendment to contract C-116 2019 with the Tire Cutters, Inc. for a rate increase for the transportation and processing of used tires collected in Shawnee County, with no tax dollars used to fund this request.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bill Sutton, Shawnee County Solid Waste. This item is basically a rate increase and an extension to our existing contract with Tire Cutters, Inc. They provide transportation and processing for any used tires that we happen to collect around the county through our drop-offs or just what we find in the ditch. So due to rate increases on their end, it has to reflect back to me. So it's about a $40 rate increase. So stand by for your questions, gentlemen.
Any questions?
This rate increase, how does this work? Is it by volume of tires, or how do they, or is it just a solid, just a contract at one time?
It's we have a contract with them, so they charge us $150. Well, currently it's $110 per ton for any
Per ton.
tires collected.
Okay.
So it's on a per ton basis, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Just out of curiosity, how many tons of tires do we?
Last year we collected 48 tons of tires, which is a lot of tires. So that's
Wow.
I was-
tires that we kept out of the landfill, found throughout the ditches and whatnot, so.
I was walking along the new Deer Creek Trail last week, and I ventured off into Deer Creek, into Dornwood, a wooded area, and I found a ton of tires back there. And I'm going to see if we can get a cleanup project before we open our trail up and get that clean. I'll contact Keep America Beautiful and see what we can do, but
Or
there's,
Kurt Niehaus, 6075.
very good. And, but.
Is he even here?
He's not here, so. I was amazed how many old tires were back there. And I think some of them were even put back there for erosion control maybe at one time, so who knows, but they need to go. So, anyway, I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflected, it passes 3-0. Thank you, gentlemen. Our next item.
Item G, Appraiser's Office, number 1. Consider authorization and execution of Contract C-487-2021 in conjunction with Douglas County, Jefferson County, City of Topeka, and the City of Lawrence for the purchase of digital color orthophotography provided by the Surdex Corporation at a cost of $19,385, a 50% split with the City of Topeka, with funding from the Land Records Fund.
Good morning, Steve Bauman, County Appraiser. That was well said, and that pretty much covers most of our requests. This contract is something we do every other year. It's through a state contract. The Counselor's Office reviewed the contract for form and legality, and our portion is split with the City of Topeka, and then the portion that we pay, we fund it through the Land Records Fund that we've approved back in March, I believe. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. This is a county-wide use for our aerial photography.
Well, to start with, this is done every other year.
Correct.
And what are some of the uses that this mapping will be applied to?
Well, our office uses it pretty heavily for review, agricultural review, improvement review, things like that. But all departments, I believe, use it pretty heavily, as well as the public, Sheriff's Department, and Emergency Management, things like that.
Several years ago, we had quite a bit of publication about the use of software that would go and apply to see what changes have been made in that past 2 years. Do we still do that?
We haven't done it again yet, but it's always out there, and Lee Allen's not here, but we're working together to attempt to do that in-house. We believe that there's now some additional software that may allow us to do that change detection in-house, at no additional cost.
Okay. Other questions?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflected, it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Number 2, consider approval of request to post and fill a vacant Office Assistant 2 position at a starting annual salary, including benefits, of $41,845.59.
We're losing one of our office assistants, and it's a necessary position. So we're requesting that we can post and fill that.
Questions?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflected, it passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our next item.
Item H, Emergency Management, number 1. Consider authorization and execution of Contract C-488-2021, a Fifth Amendment to Contract C-207-2016 with American Medical Response to include extending the agreement for 5 years and with new amendments to be decided upon before June 1st of each year.
Morning, Commissioners. Nelson Castile, Ambulance Compliance Officer. I also have AMR Regional Director John Antrim here, and our Operations Director Manager of the local here, Mickey Huber, and they can answer any questions that you may have for them as well. This is the first step of probably several where we're going to be looking at doing some technical amendments and some innovative amendments. When the contract went through the RFP period in 2015 and 2016, one of the directives of the Board of County Commissioners at that time was that we work on a contract that allows an expansion of services, allows for changes to be made. We've had tremendous success so far with the basic life support system. We've also had some really good success with how AMR has staffed certain ambulances in certain places, and I've been really happy to see that when we find problems, they've been working through them. The BLS, I'll use that as an example, was an amendment that we put into place when we realized that certain calls did not need a full-blown paramedic response, and those units have done very well. I'm up to October right now for 2021, was able to make some progress last week, and having those units, that innovative idea of having a basic life support unit has really saved on response time and been a tremendous service to Shawnee County. So this is a 5-year extension of the contract. In the original contract, the first period was for 5 years. It ends on this Friday, I believe it is, the 31st. In the contract, it said there would be 5 additional 1-year automatic extensions, providing AMR was in compliance, and they are in substantial compliance. I have no complaints about that. In order to allow AMR to put in some more of these programs and to help us in revamping some of the ways that we handle calls that come in, handle the locations that the ambulance goes to, the one where they can drop off, and also what we're seeing on the national level with some of the new nuances and paradigms that we had not seen before. There's a lot of studies out there that show that we have the ability to really have a robust system here. The only thing, and it was brought to my attention, I did not address it in the memo, and my apologies for that. The only thing that would not be negotiated or amended would be the current subsidy of the $350,000 that AMR receives. You also see in the memo where that money goes and where it comes from, unless we were to put in an amendment that would cause a stress on the system or anything like that. I don't see them coming back and asking for a subsidy, so, or a subsidy increase or a change. So I would answer any questions you might have.
Questions? Again, just notating that this is a 5-year contract. This will not make any rate changes subject to extreme circumstances.
Subsidy changes.
Subsidy changes.
Yep, the rate changes are the yearly thing that we come back and do.
But the subsidy change would stay flat.
Yes, sir.
And then it does allow for the additional programming through the next 5 years.
Yes, we thought that we would align it with AMR's fiscal year for their budget, align it with Senate Bill 13. We don't know where that's going this year, so we may have to eventually change that if we have to change our budgeting dates or anything like that. But it should, we want to immediately get to work, and we also want to make sure that before we bring something to you, it goes through the Ambulance Advisory Board and some of the working groups that we've formed to make sure that it's something that we want to do, and they can give you a well-informed recommendation.
Okay. See Mr. Antrim behind you.
Well, good morning, Commissioners. John Antrim, Regional Director for AMR. Just want to take an opportunity, really, before I get started on the contract extension and publicly thank your AMR Topeka team. You know, 2020 came to us, and it was a big shock. It has completely changed EMS and how we respond in Shawnee County. It's completely changed that across the nation. And really, the stressors and the physical demands on the employees, the unknowns, the change in policies constantly evolving because of the changes in the virus. They've taken it with great stride, and they really have stepped up and been able to provide the greatest care that they possibly could. So I just want to publicly thank them for that. So December 31st, 1983 is when Medevac Mid-America took over the contract for this county. AMR acquired them in 1994, and we've continued to serve this community for over 27 years. We're excited what we've done in the past. In the past 5 years, Nelson kind of alluded to it, the implementation of the BLS units. We've been able to replace half of our fleet over this period, as well as the CAD-to-CAD interface, and moving our dispatch center back to Topeka has been a benefit for all of us. We're really excited to work in the future, and when we talk about these amendments and things that we talk about is really innovation in healthcare. And I know you guys know a little bit about what we're planning to move forward to, but working with Dr. Locke, our first responder partners, of really redeveloping what EMS looks like in Shawnee County. And it's going to be focused on getting the patient to the right location with the right resource at the right time. So big things to come. We're super excited. We're very excited at the opportunity of being able to continue our service here in Shawnee County, and thank you for considering that and allowing us that.
Okay. Any questions for Nelson or Mr. Antrim? No. All right. Thank you very much, and thank you, AMR of Topeka, for everything that you do. With that, I'll move to approve the new contract.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Thank you. Thank you, Nelson. Our next item.
Item I, Parks and Recreation, number 1. Consider approval of request to transfer the balance of the Parks and Recreation 2021 operating budget to the department's building maintenance 3R fund for the exclusive use for deferred maintenance of Shawnee County buildings in Parkland.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Director, Parks and Recreation. So this morning I am, as the clerk said, asking to transfer approximately 2% of our budget to next year so we can use it for deferred maintenance. We're estimating that we'll have around $300,000, maybe between $300,000 and $350,000 remaining. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Just again, notating that it is approximately 2% of the overall budget.
Correct.
Okay. With that, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 489-2021, Terms and Conditions Agreement with Game Time Cunningham Recreation to allow the department to order replacement playground equipment for Collins Park at a cost of $4,831.74 with funding from the Excess Reserve Fund.
Tim Laurent, Parks and Recreation Department. So you remember 2 years ago we bought some new playground equipment for Collins Park. That is not what we're replacing. There was existing equipment there that we kept, and some of that needs some replacement parts, so it's about 10 different pieces. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So this is replacement parts for the new piece?
It is not for the new. This is for some older equipment that we kept in addition to what we added.
I think that's just good for clarification.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
No. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Thank you. Our next item.
Item J, Coroner's Office, number 1. Consider approval of request to increase the cremation expense from $350 to $475 for individuals in excess of 375 pounds.
Good morning. Sharon Parks Mandel, sorry. Sorry. Sharon Parks Mandel, Special Deputy Coroner with the Coroner's Office. I'm here to, it's kind of on behalf of the request from the crematories to increase slightly the amount of reimbursement for those larger individuals.
So this is a request from the crematories that say that because of the excess work that they have or procedure for the crematories, they need to increase the compensation just a little bit.
Yes, currently it's been $350, I believe, for years. And they've been very generous in keeping that amount steady. We unfortunately have been experiencing an increase in the number of individuals who are beyond the normal weights that they would have had in the past. And it does create a bit of a problem for the crematories, takes additional staff and quite a bit more time for the procedure to be completed. And it does create a challenge for them. So they've requested that. It's about 20% of the individuals that we have as unclaimed would meet that criteria. So it's not all of them, it's about 20%.
Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that passes 3-0. And thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you very much.
Our next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any item. All right. Commissioner Mays,
Nothing from me.
Commissioner Rippon.
Not much here.
Well, I don't have anything either, so we're on to our next item.
Item 6, Executive Sessions.
There is a need for an executive session today. This would be for personnel matters of non-elected personnel, consultation with the attorney for the body or agency which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, and matters relating to employee or employee negotiations, whether or not in consultation with the representative or representatives of the body or agency. These are all in conjunction with the implementation of the Evergreen Wage Study, and this would be for a period not to exceed 30 minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. There's no action anticipated. It passes 3-0. We'll start the executive session at 9:30.
Okay, we've got a lot to sign, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are back from executive session. No action was taken. We are adjourned.
Yes.